Earth today feels stable, predictable, alive in a way that seems permanent. Forests breathe, oceans move, animals dominate land and sea. But there was a time, deep in Earth's past, when none of this existed. No forests, no animals on land, no familiar ecosystems, just barren continents, shallow seas, and life waiting for its moment. This is the story of the Devonian Period, a chapter of deep time, roughly 419 to 359 million years ago, when Earth didn't just change, it transformed. Welcome to the age of sea monsters and the first forests. At the beginning of the Devonian, during the early phases of the Paleozoic era, the planet looked nothing like today. Continents were scattered across the globe. Gondwana, Laurussia, and Siberia drifting across ancient oceans like the Ruik Ocean, driven by relentless plate tectonics. Mountain-building events like the Caledonian orogeny and Akkadian orogeny reshaped landscapes. But on land, almost nothing lived there. No trees, no animals, just rock, wind, and silence. Then something extraordinary began. Plants, not towering forests, not yet. At first, small vascular plants emerged, equipped with xylem and phloem, unlocking the ability to transport water and nutrients. This was an evolutionary innovation that changed everything. Roots began to penetrate the ground, triggering chemical weathering, breaking down rock, and initiating true soil formation. Through photosynthesis, these early plants started pulling carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and releasing oxygen. A slow but powerful carbon cycle shift had begun. And then, the forests arrived. Primitive trees like Archaeopteris spread across the land, forming the first true forest ecosystems, places like the ancient Gilboa forest. These weren't just collections of plants, they were planetary engineers. They stabilized sediments, they altered climate feedback systems, they increased carbon sequestration, and most importantly, they began to change the atmosphere itself. Oxygen levels started to rise, and when oxygen rises, life responds. In the oceans, this triggered one of the most explosive phases of biodiversity expansion in Earth's history. The Devonian became known as the Age of Fishes. Marine ecosystems flourished across shallow seas and continental shelves. Complex reef ecosystems, built by stromatoporoids, tabulate corals and rugose corals, created biodiversity hotspots. And within these ecosystems, evolution accelerated. This was the age of predators. Armored giants known as placoderms dominated the seas. Among them, one stood above all, Dunkleosteus, a true apex predator, with massive dermal bone plates forming an armored exoskeleton and powerful self-sharpening jaws capable of crushing prey with extreme bite force mechanics. It didn't just hunt, it controlled entire food chain hierarchies. Alongside it swam creatures like Bothraeolapis and the massive filter feeder Titanichthys. Early sharks like Cladocelac and Acanthodians explored new predatory strategies. Meanwhile, jawless fish, the ancient ostracoderms, began to decline, outcompeted by the rise of jawed vertebrates. This was vertebrate evolution in motion, an explosion of adaptive radiation, filling every possible ecological niche. But evolution wasn't just about size or power, it was about transition. Because while oceans thrived, some fish were beginning to explore a new world. The margins, shallow, oxygen-poor waters, swamps, river deltas, vegetation-rich environments, places where survival required innovation. Here, lobe-finned fish, ancestors of future land animals, began evolving muscular limb-like fins. Fossils like Eusthenopteron, Panderichthys, and Elpistostege revealed the gradual shift. Bones began to resemble the humerus, radius, and ulna, the blueprint of limbs. Then came Tiktaalik, a creature that blurred the line between fish and land animal. It had fins, but also wrists, gills, but also lungs. A body capable of mud-flat locomotion. This wasn't just evolution, this was an evolutionary transition, the water-to-land transition itself. Eventually, true tetrapod ancestors emerged. Creatures like Acanthostiga and Ichthyostiga, early amphibious vertebrates with polydactyl limbs, stepped into a world no vertebrate had ever inhabited before: land. The first steps were clumsy. Their limbs weren't fully weight-bearing. Their movement was limited, but it didn't matter, because evolution had crossed a threshold. The colonization of land had begun, and they weren't alone. Long before vertebrates arrived, arthropod colonization had already taken hold. Scorpions, millipedes, early insects, using tracheal respiration, book lungs, and protective exoskeletons, they formed the first terrestrial ecosystems. Simple, but revolutionary. But while life expanded, the planet was becoming unstable, because the same forests driving oxygen production were also triggering unintended consequences. Root systems accelerated weathering processes, sending nutrients into rivers and oceans. This caused massive nutrient runoff, fueling algal blooms, and when those algae died, they consumed oxygen. This led to widespread oceanic anoxia, oxygen-depleted waters where life struggled to survive. Black shales formed across the seafloor, geological evidence of these anoxic events. The oceans, once thriving, began to suffocate. This instability pushed Earth toward crisis. During the late Devonian, the system began to collapse, not in a single moment, but in pulses. The Kellwasser event triggered massive reef ecosystem decline, wiping out huge portions of marine biodiversity. Then came the final blow, the Hangenberg event, a true mass extinction event, driven by a combination of climate cooling, glaciation, ocean circulation changes, and severe marine anoxia crisis. The results were catastrophic. Biodiversity loss spread across the planet. Entire groups vanished. The mighty placoderms, including Dunkleosteus, were completely wiped out. Even early vertebrates suffered devastating losses. This was one of Earth's first great ecological collapses. But extinction is never the end of the story. It's a reset. From the survivors, small, adaptable species, new lineages emerged. Sharks rose to dominance. Ray-finned fish began their path toward becoming the most diverse vertebrates on Earth. On land, tetrapods continued evolving, eventually giving rise to amphibians, reptiles, and much later, mammals. Forests recovered, reshaping ecosystems once again, and the planet moved forward into the Carboniferous period. The Devonian wasn't just a chapter in Earth's history, it was a turning point. It built the first forests, it transformed the atmosphere through oxygenation, it created complex marine ecosystems and terrestrial ecosystems. It drove the evolution of life from water to land. And then, it nearly destroyed it all. This is the paradox of deep time, creation, and destruction working together. Because the Devonian didn't just shape its own world, it built the foundation of ours. Every forest you see today, every animal that walks on land, every breath of oxygen you take, traces back to this moment. A time when fish ruled the oceans, when the first trees touched the sky, and when life took its first steps onto land. And if you look closely, you'll realize something. The modern world isn't as stable as it seems. It's the result of ancient feedback systems, ecological tipping points, and evolutionary pressure built over hundreds of millions of years. The Devonian proved something fundamental about Earth, that life doesn't just adapt to change, it transforms the planet itself. And sometimes, those transformations come at a cost. If you found this deep time journey fascinating, do us a favor, like, subscribe, and stay connected. Because Earth's history isn't just about the past, it's the blueprint of everything that comes next.